KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adahi Itanu program. Cars Plus reminds you to put your phone down while driving. Distractions won't get you there. Heads up, Guam. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Coming up on Guam's primetime news, the island records its 10th traffic-related fatality after a pedestrian hit by a car in Totu has passed away. Plus, tonight, the Guam Police Department's Criminal Investigation Division was activated after a shooting incident up in Dededo. And over the weekend, the new Adjutant General is pinned and assumes command of the Guam National Guard.
Hafaday and good evening. The Guam Police Department's Criminal Investigation Division activated this afternoon following an incident in Dededo. KUAM News has learned that the Tatamona Fugitive Task Force was executing a high-risk local warrant when things turned deadly. Carmen Terlahi reports.
This viewer video showing what may have happened as local and federal law enforcement converged on this black car in the Dollar Homes area of Dededo. KUAM would later learn as police spokesperson Paul Tapao arrived on the scene some of the details of what transpired.
Shortly before 1:30 this afternoon, our agents with GPD's Criminal Investigation Division were actually called out and activated relative to a shooting that happened here at 147 Baradan Dalalis and Astumbo Dededo. Now, a male individual was transported from the residence to Guam Regional Medical City, and shortly before 2:24 p.m. it was pronounced deceased. Now we are moving forward with a shooting investigation. We're going to work closely with the Superior Courts of Guam as we move forward with this investigation. This case remains open. Our detectives have a slew of individuals that still need to be interviewed relative to this incident. And as of now, I can't disclose any information relative to this ongoing investigation.
Could you tell us if there was a warrant for his arrest?
I can't disclose that at this time. We were called relative to assist with this part of the investigation from the Superior Courts of Guam.
I know we saw some U.S. court marshals out here and marshals from the Superior Court as well. Can you tell us what's their involvement in this case?
I can't expand on any operations from other agencies other than what we are doing with our investigation relative to the shooting.
KUAM News, however, has learned that a high-risk local warrant was being carried out. U.S. Marshals, Superior Court Marshals, and the Guam Police Department were on the scene. Yellow crime tape was used to cordon off the area. KUAM later learned that it was part of the Tatamona Fugitive Task Force effort. The task force is comprised of local and federal law enforcement officers who seek out the most violent fugitives in the community. Court Director of Community Relations, Sean Gubentautau, could only confirm that it in fact was a local warrant. Reporting for Guam News Network, I'm Carmen Victoria Terlahi.
The Guam Police Department's Highway Patrols launched another traffic-related fatality investigation. It was around 8 o'clock on Saturday night when a 41-year-old man was walking along Totu Cañada Road on his way to the store when he was hit by a car. He passed away on Sunday. KUAM has learned that the man is a longtime employee of the MTM Mayor's office. His name is Donnie Garrido. Police spokesperson Paul Tapao saying the case was initially reported as an auto pedestrian incident but was recently reclassified to a fatality. This marks the 10th traffic-related fatality of the year. The safety of children on Guam cannot be ensured. That is the word after Senator Therese Terlahi's roundtable on the courts and prisons sex offender policies. Terlahi calling for a pause on parole for pedophiles. Chris Barnett reports.
Guam's system for evaluating and assessing how dangerous sex offenders are to the public before they're released from prison and the treatments available for them while they're serving their sentences are not stringent enough, according to officials from the courts and prison. Court psychologist Juan Rapata is saying the current way we evaluate sex offenders, particularly pedophiles like Paul Santos Mofnes, is far behind national risk assessment standards. Guam only using the first level of assessing sex offenders.
A lot of them are just clinical interviews, and you're relying on them. Do you understand that you need to change? Yes, etc., etc. That's only the first level. Most places in the country have second and third level, and we need to think about funding agencies to start being able to do the second and third level. The second level has to do with biometric, non-invasive things like heart rate, polygraph, blood pressure. You basically attach them, everyone who is assessed who needing this, and just show videos and pictures of certain stimuli.
Paul Santos Mofnes released from prison in 2014 after, quote, performing well on parole. He's currently being held on charges he kidnapped and raped a 10-year-old girl at gunpoint. Rapadas telling senators pedophiles who are attracted to children younger than 11 have an extremely high rate of recidivism. Mofnes was released without a psychological assessment and recently replaced former parole board chair Michelle Titano, said the parole board will hold no hearings without legally mandated completed psychological evals from here on out. Meanwhile, public defender Richard Dirks said DOC's parole division can't do what it takes to keep Guam safe from dangerous pedophiles released from prison.
Parole must be overwhelmed. They must be. I don't know how parole can do all the work. They don't have the eyes and ears in the community. They don't have the ability to bring people in for small things. You can put a hold on somebody, you can throw them in jail, but you can't micromanage their lives, which is what pedophiles need.
DOC said during the hearing it has started a sex offender treatment program, but only 15 offenders can be placed in that program at a time. Dirks, meanwhile, said the high rate of recidivism in pedophiles has been very evident on Guam.
Our community's been torn apart by a recent notorious case. And I'm trying to think, but over the last 30 years, maybe I've seen a dozen like that. They need to be monitored very closely.
Meanwhile, Senator Therese Terlahi said all mandated risk assessments must be made available. Terlahi, after the hearing, said under the current system, the safety of Guam's children cannot be ensured. Terlahi calling for a moratorium on parole for pedophiles. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
It is official. Raymond and Juanita Martinez have entered guilty pleas in a federal court in California after 2 mistrials in the District Court of Guam. Their drug case was moved to the Central District of California back in January. The 2 were charged for an incident that occurred in California in June 2015. Raymond and Juanita were accused of trying to smuggle 8 pounds of the drug ice from California to Guam. They agreed to plead guilty to using a cell phone to cause and facilitate the possession with the intent to distribute more than 3,600 grams of meth. They are scheduled to be sentenced on July 25th. According to the plea agreement, at the time of sentencing, the U.S. Attorney's Office will move to dismiss the remaining charges of possession with intent to distribute meth and aiding and abetting. He was in and out in less than 30 minutes. KUAM's Julia Santos reports on a fast and furious burglary that occurred at the Cars Plus lot in Mighty.
The person that did this really knew our operation. Our security had just gotten off, and an employee had come in like 20 minutes later. Came into work early as he normally does.
Harley-Davidson owner Robbie Crisostomo says at around 6 a.m. on Saturday, someone managed to steal about $23,000 worth of property right off their lot in Mighty. Specifically 2 Honda CRF motocross bikes, a 450cc and 150cc, both bright red in color, and a bright green Kawasaki KX65 mini bike. The bikes were loaded onto a white Toyota Tacoma, which coincidentally matches the same description for a similar truck stolen from Cars Plus in Tamuning earlier that morning.
The guy broke into the building, knew what he was doing, drove around to an area where he could hide the truck while he was loading the bikes, cut the locks, cut the padlocks, so several locks he cut just to get to these bikes, loaded them up by himself, and they're literally laying in the back of the truck on their side.
Although it's not clear yet whether the white Tacoma is the same truck that was stolen that same day, Crisostomo is asking the public to come forward if they have any information.
We got to catch these guys and do something. You know, we've got to do something so there's some consequences to stealing. And so people are reaching out not only because they know us, but because they're tired of it. You know, it's happening to people at home, it's happening to businesses, and it's happening all around. So
if you have any information, call Guam Crime Stoppers at 477-4357. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Julia Santos.
Before we head into the break, some good news to report as the Department of Rev and Tax, along with the Department of Administration, have announced that $16 million in tax refund checks will be mailed this week. This will cover all A-status returns through January 28th and accounts for roughly 3,600 checks. Stay tuned. We're back with more news after the break.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
We value relationships because when we commit,
I love you guys until you're 80, until you're 90, until you're 100, forever.
We are in it for the long run, so you can enjoy the moments that matter. Because when we commit to relationships, we never stop caring. Calvo's Select Care, health care that is always there for you.
There's a new United credit card that can take you here, here, and here, with double miles on gas and groceries. Introducing the new United credit card from First Hawaiian Bank. Gas, groceries, getaway. Apply at fhb.com/united.
Legends aren't born, they are made. And during our Jeep Celebration event at Cars Plus and Mighty, you'll receive up to $6,000 in accessories with the purchase of a new Jeep Wrangler, Motor Trend SUV of the Year. Customize your new Jeep to the way you want it. Or how about a new Jeep Grand Cherokee? Save up to $5,000. Or save up to $7,500 on a new Jeep Compass Sport. It's our Jeep Celebration event going on now at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
I am track winner.
I'm a baller.
I'm a golfer.
I'm swimmer.
Hey, neighbor. The Guam Contractors Association are proud supporters of Special Olympics Guam.
Let me win. Can I win?
Let me be brave in the attempt.
Make a difference in an athlete's life. Be a part of Special Olympics Guam.
Keep our dreams alive.
Get involved today.
The most delicious union of all time is now on Guam. Kentucky Fried Chicken and Waffles for limited time at KFC.
Welcome back. It was on April 25th when the 35th Guam legislature confirmed Colonel Esther Agagi as the director of the Department of Military Affairs and also confirming her as the Adjutant General of the Guam National Guard. On Sunday, an historic ceremony was held. Joan Ugan-Treffer has more from Barrigada.
Today marks a historic event in the life of our Guam National Guard, and I am indeed honored and proud to be again making history in the appointment and confirmation of Lieutenant Colonel Esther Agagi as the first Chamorro female Adjutant General in this Pacific Western part of the world.
Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, who is the Commander-in-Chief of the Guam National Guard, presided over a joint ceremony at the Readiness Center in Barrigada. During the ceremony, Leon Guerrero pinned new ranks and formally gave command of the Guam National Guard to its newly confirmed Adjutant General, Esther Agagi.
I want to extend my humble gratitude to you for trusting me with the welfare of soldiers, airmen, civilians, and their families. I ask for your continued trust so that the work I do will find favor with those I serve and be a blessing to many.
The colors were passed from Governor Leon Guerrero to Major General Agagi as she officially assumed command, and it was done in front of the entire unit so that all could see and witness their leader assuming her dutiful position. The passing of the unit colors represents the transfer of authority and responsibility from the Commander-in-Chief. According to PAO Major Josephine Bloss, she who holds a flag also holds a warrior's allegiance. This symbolic tradition has survived throughout military history. Immediately following the assumption of command, Major General Agagi will give responsibility to Command Sergeant Major Agnes Diaz as the Guam Guard's State Command Sergeant Major, who will assume responsibilities and duties as its senior enlisted advisor to the Adjutant General. Diaz will be the first female to take such position.
No amount of media editorializing or media opinion or detractors or opposition will change my mind. My confidence, my trust and believe that she is the right soldier that will lead this great Guam National Guard onto the future that holds many opportunities that we are very prepared to take advantage of.
Aggie is the 11th Adjutant General for the Guam National Guard since its establishment nearly 38 years ago. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jonathan Charkis.
A protest has been filed in the GovGuam group health insurance bid. Take Care says it was working on a way to comply with the new law that requires that all local hospitals be included in coverage. But the company claims GRMC is trying to derail its plan. Nestor Lecanto reports.
Bidders for the GovGuam health insurance contract must now have both GMH and GRMC in their network coverage. But Take Care has never had a deal with GRMC, and in a news release says instead it was proposing to use fellow carrier NetCare's access, a common industry practice. That was until it learned through NetCare that GRMC was not going to allow it, and that the hospital was going to require that each insurer contract individually with it. Take Care and GRMC have long been at odds over what the company says is the hospital's high rates. Now it claims GRMC is leveraging the GovGuam bid to force them to also contract for its other commercial accounts and its federal employee members. Take Care claims that's clearly malicious and in bad faith and is calling on the administration department to put the health insurance RFP on hold until its protest is resolved. DOA Director Edward Burns' response.
I've asked our attorney to have a look at it. I expect to get an answer later this week. But at this moment, I'm not in a position to disclose much about the actual protest. Obviously, my biggest concern is to make sure that GovGuam employees get an economic and beneficial health plan. Anything that potentially delays that is obviously not welcome. But I can't until I get the information back from our attorney as to how we're going to handle this.
Burns says if there were an extended delay, they could work out continuing coverage with current insurers. Approximately 16,000 employees and dependents could be affected. Meanwhile, rival insurer Select Care, which has better than 80% of the GovGuam health insurance contract, hopes for a quick resolution. Plan Administrator Frank Campillo.
I'm a little surprised because, again, this would be a second year that a company, which happens to be the same company, challenges the government of Guam RFP, and especially since there was not a submission to the RFP or a reply to the RFP from the same company. One will wonder whether or not there is legitimacy behind their claim or whether it's a tactic to delay the process. We're just hoping that this process moves quickly. Clearly, delays are not beneficial for anyone. They create uncertainty, and we want to make sure that the employees and retirees of the government of Guam are able to plan for the open enrollment in a timely manner.
Campillo says negotiations for the GovGuam contract are supposed to start in mid-June. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
GRMC says it is still formulating a response and expects to issue it tomorrow. Guam could be looking to Mexico to solve our H-2B worker woes. In the wake of the H-2B crisis, the Guam Department of Labor is working with a labor solutions company out of Dallas, Texas, to diversify our island's outsourcing for temporary construction workers. Veronica Birkenstock, the president and CEO of Practical Employee Solutions, is no stranger to Guam, having been here back in 2009 to see how our company could help with the first attempt at the military buildup.
I bring almost 30 years of experience to the table. I have relationships in these countries and I know how to navigate those. Right now, about a month or so ago, we reached out and I got a list of the job descriptions, and we've sourced close to 7,500 workers that are available now. All these people have experience. Many of them have actually worked stateside before in construction or related industries. They have the skill sets and the interest to come. The wages are attractive for them. They're eagerly awaiting. My phone has been blowing up the last 2 days, and they know I'm here.
When asked if the high cost of airfare would lead to greater construction costs, DOL Director David De La Sola said the process to source workers from Mexico would take less time at a substantially lower price than current process to source H-2s from the Philippines. The director pointed out that although our Magahaga was able to get approval for additional workers from the Philippines, her goal is to diversify our island's sources of labor for times of need. Well, here's your chance to sound off about the upcoming water and sewer rate increases. The first of several public meetings gets underway tonight at GWA's headquarters in Fadian. The public information campaign is required under the Ratepayers Bill of Rights law. General Manager Miguel Bordallo says they'll be explaining upcoming capital improvement projects, the financial plan for the first 5 years of their 20-year master plan, and what it means for rates.
And for the typical residential customer, the average impact over the 5-year period in your monthly bill is going to be around, I want to say, $2.60 or so.
Much of the impetus for the water and wastewater system improvements have been driven by a federal court order for GovGuam to comply with safe drinking water standards and wastewater primary treatment requirements. And Bordallo says they continue to make progress in meeting a federal consent decree.
We want to increase our line replacements, for the distribution system, knock down the amount of water that we're losing to leaks, and tighten that up. That's a large part of what we're going to be spending on in the next 5 years. The other thing is we've spent a lot of money in the past 10 years on upgrading our wastewater treatment plants. We're already seeing the benefits of that at Santa Rita, and we now have secondary treatment. We're sending clear, disinfected effluent into the ocean, which is a lot better than what we had before.
GWA has also produced an informational flyer that it sent out in the most recent billing. It contains a chart of the rate increases across various consumer rate classes. It also provides more detailed information about ongoing and planned capital improvement projects. Stay tuned. Sports is coming up next.
Make every day a plus.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
This is a bag. But for Steve, this bag gives him food cred. Because now everyone knows that when they have that craving, or they're just looking for the perfect deal, well, they just need to follow Steve.
Follow him all the way to the new McTerry Deluxe at McDonald's. It's an all-beef patty smothered with teriyaki sauce topped with lettuce and tomato on a sesame seed bun. For a limited time, price and participation may vary.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We get the show started tonight with some rugby news. His Ukadu Bulldogs standout player Mara Tamayo will be playing some D1 ball in Maryland. Check it out. Mara signed her letter of intent this morning at the school's main office in front of friends, family, and faculty. Mara will be receiving a women's rugby scholarship and provost scholarship from Mount St. Mary's, where she hopes to major in kinesiology. The Mount is a Catholic liberal arts university located near Emmitsburg, Maryland.
Try my best to make the lineup. Try my best to start. But I know that if I want that, I will have to put my 110% effort in every single practice and everything I do.
Of course, as a parent, I'm very proud. Mara has come a long way. She's had a few obstacles that she had to stumble and get over. It's been a very long and jarring process. Still kind of surreal to the family. probably hit us more as she gets on the plane.
Be able to have our child actually go out there and, do bigger things. I think that's what we all strive for as parents, to at least have our kids, put positive notes out there for the community to follow.
Boys High School volleyball playoffs from the FD Phoenix Center. Number 1 seed Friars hosting the JFK Islanders, who came into the game as the 8th seed. FD's Jeremiah Nagayan with the kill to add to the Friars' lead. The home team took the first set 25-15. FD kept their foot on the gas pedal in the second set. The Maroon and Gold took the lead and never looked back. Multi-sport athlete Noah Diaz put down the kill shot as the Friars cruised to the 25-10 second set victory. FD will now advance to the semifinals to face the Ukadu Bulldogs. Ukadu picked up the win over the St. Paul Warriors to advance. Harvest beat out St. John's. Teason was victorious over ND. Harvest will play Teason tomorrow at 6 p.m. The same time the Bulldogs and Friars hit the court. Winners move on to this year's championship game, scheduled for Wednesday at 7 p.m. at the UOG Calvo Fieldhouse. The 2019 Guam Women's Tackle Football League kicked off with 4 teams competing for this year's trophy. The Raiders Sandalo squad edged out the SB Saints in the first game of the season. The Stunners suited up against 7-time defending champions Legacy in a rematch of last year's title game. Danielle Vaughn scored on the first offensive snap for the Stunners, using her speed to get to the outside. Point after attempt was stuffed by the defense as they closed off the right side of the field. Olivia Flores Elliott pounded out some tough runs for Legacy. The defending champs were down late in the fourth quarter. Alana Garcia clocked in, tightened her chin strap, and went to work. Garcia scored her team's first and last touchdown of the game for the 32-26 win. Action resumes Saturday at the UOG Field with games at 11 and 2 in the afternoon.
It's a promise to share a half-day spirit and to protect our culture. Like saying happy day! Home
It also means promising to keep our island clean.
Like cleaning up the beach? That sounds so easy.
It is. Anyone can sign up, even kids just like us.
How do kids sign up? It's easy. Moms and dads call the Guam Visitors Bureau and sign your kid up to take the pledge.
All kids get certificates, bags, and can enjoy cultural activities at the signing ceremony.
We are Half a Day Pledge Kids, and you can be too.
Introducing Triple J's Online Shopper, the new, faster, easier way to purchase your next vehicle. Explore hundreds of new and used vehicles in full 360-degree view. Get pre-approved instantly from the comfort of your home or office. Personalize your own finance terms and get top market value on your trade-in in just a few quick, easy steps. Buy with confidence from start to signature, and we'll even go the extra mile to deliver your vehicle to your home or office. Have a question? Our sales team is just a chat away for instant assistance. Click, pick, drive. Complete the entire car buying process with Triple J's online shopper and purchase your next vehicle at triplejguam.com today.
Can I just get it right back?
Welcome back. Before we wrap up the news, here's your latest round of birthday shoutouts from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Happy birthday going out to Kaylee Brown. Also celebrating her birthday is Raya Anela Santos. Happy birthday. We are so grateful for all the joy, love, and wonderful surprises that you bring into our lives. We love you endlessly. Love, Gammy and Papa. Happy birthday to Keenan Chase Chargaloff, celebrating his 8th birthday, to our one and only son. We love you so much. Love Daddy, Mommy, and the family. Also, happy birthday to Kaylani Arceo. Happiest birthday to our beautiful princess. God bless you on your special day, and many more years of celebrations are precious. We love you from Mama, Papa Joe, and family. Also, happy belated birthday shout-outs going to Leanne Barcinas Santos and Risha Bonillo. You can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by heading over to KUAM.com. And that is going to do it for us here on Prime Time. Stay tuned. Extras next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E. Explore your world.
Buy with confidence. It's the Triple J advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire